Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And that's not whiskey.
No, it's wine.
We're talking about what we drink when we're not filming.
Welcome to the channel, bringing real-world perspectives to the real-world whiskey consumer.
Today we're talking about what we drink when we're not filming. But before we get into that, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
We just filmed one video podcast episode.
Yep.
We're filming this one, and we have our live stream, our August live stream tonight. We're filming this the morning of that. Well, not the morning of.
The early evening.
Prior before. Yeah, yeah. We're having a ton of fun tonight.
Yeah.
It's always fun when we're filming. We hope that shows through on the camera.
Yeah.
So before we get started on what we drink when we're not filming, let's get into our quick sips.
Okay.
So for today, our quick sip review is going to be Maker's Mark FAE-01. We're filming this at the beginning of August. Mm-hmm. However, when this episode comes out, it's going to be a little into September, and FAE-02 should be coming out. So I thought this would be a great thing to review prior to. This stuff isn't super highly sought after. It still sits around, especially if you're anywhere near Kentucky. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, but we went to Kentucky. They had stacks and stacks of this stuff in stores. But it is a really good product. 110.6 proof. You know, it's their limited release.
What's the price point?
I think in Kentucky, we paid $65 or $70 for this.
Okay.
And then got one locally. I think it was marked up a little bit. But great. I mean, the times that we've tried it before, it's great. And as much as people like Weller, we've done several double blinds where we didn't know we were drinking Makers and Weller.
Yeah.
And I've yet to pick Weller over a comparable Makers product.
Yeah.
I wish I had a bottle of Weller Full Proof to compare this against, because this is easier to get than any bottle of Weller Full Proof. And I think it would beat it. But let's get into it right now.
All right. Well, I just smelled it. It smells kind of like pancake syrup.
I can see that. I get like a fruity sweetness anchored with a ton of caramel.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
It's got some bite, but not too much.
Yeah.
Like
It drinks right at 110 proof, I think. I think it would go really comparably head to head with Weller 107 or even Weller Full Proof, like I said. It's fruity.
It gets a little hotter at the afterwards.
It's got some spice that lingers.
Yeah.
I think this is a fantastic release. Like I said, I really wish I could put this up against a Weller Full Proof, because I think that this would beat it, at least for my palate. I just like Makers. I mean, there's complexity there. There's depth. Great mouthfeel. Fantastic. Like cinnamon. I'm getting like cinnamon and caramel, which is a great combination for me.
Yeah.
I love that. I probably would never take a caramel cube and sprinkle cinnamon on it. But when I can get both of those in a whiskey, I really, really like it.
So what would you give this on our scoring system?
You know, honestly, it's a limited release product, which kind of dings it a little in our book, because we don't like to deal with hunting and hype and all that stuff. But the price point for what you're getting, I think it's fantastic.
If you can get it for $65 or $70.
So in our quick sip reviews, it's still in our thumb system. 2 thumbs up, we love it. Thumbs up, we like it. Just okay, we could take it or leave it. Thumbs down, we don't like it at all. My quick sip score for this is actually going to get 2 thumbs up.
Whoa, Nelly.
We have a backup bottle of this, and I don't ever buy a backup bottle of almost anything.
Hardly anything. There's just a couple that I can think of.
Like Rare Breed.
Rare Breed.
I mean, I'd rather spend my money on the next store pick or the next single barrel. I'd like to try new things, keep on going down the rabbit hole. And there are very, very few bottles that we have a backup of, and this is one of the very few. So for me, this gets 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
What does it get for you?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It's good. I like it. The limited availability for me kind of dings it a little bit, and I don't give 2 thumbs up a ton, but it's good. I like it.
It'll be really interesting. So this is in our blind pool against the Weller 107 antique store pick, a single barrel. So there's going to be some variance there, but it's in there against that. It's also in there against a really, really, really good Makers store pick from our local store that I think goes toe to toe with this. So it's going to be really interesting when those pop up in our double blinds. When we don't know what we're tasting, and all we have to go on is what's in the glass. So stay tuned for those in our double blinds. All right, so let's get into what we drink when we're not filming.
All right, let's do it.
What do you drink when you're not filming?
Well, I don't drink a ton, actually. Like, unless it's a social situation, I'm probably not drinking like home alone or just with you. Like, unless we're doing this. But if I am, it's usually going to be a glass of wine, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight you have...
Yeah, what do I have? Oh, this is good.
Juggernaut, which is a Cab Sav, and it's about a $20 bottle in our market here in Nashville.
Yeah.
I've got to imagine this has really wide distribution because we see it in our grocery stores here. And if you're hearing this from another state like Kentucky or really anywhere else, and you're hearing us say it's in our grocery stores, you're probably thinking like, of course it's in your grocery stores. Here in Nashville, our grocery stores don't sell liquor at all. They do sell wine and beer, but they have nothing as far as selection goes.
No.
It is awful.
Well, and in states like Virginia, you have to go to like an ABC store to get it. So there's no grocery store alcohol at all.
And I will say that this bottle also doubles as a self-defense mechanism.
It's huge.
Because I remember one time you had cracked open a bottle of this just to have with dinners over the course of a week. And I came home and I saw it out and I was like, oh, cool. Like some Juggernaut. Like I would like to have a drink of that. And I picked it up and I thought the bottle was full and it had just down to here because the glass is so heavy. So you could literally just grab this as a club.
Oh, don't be careful.
And you could take it up somebody's head.
There you go.
If they were intruding into your home.
It's a protection device as well.
It is. So you get 2 for 1. And as far as Cab Savs go, like typically a lot of the more inexpensive ones can be really sweet, like overly sweet.
Which I don't love.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
This, I think, as far as we've found, is kind of the perfect price point
and balance
between a Cab Sav that tastes really good, but it's not overly sweet. Can I?
Yeah.
May
absolutely. You may. So this is what I would normally drink if I'm drinking anything. Usually we're making dinner, usually an Italian dish, pizza mostly, or spaghetti.
Spaghetti bolognese. Ooh.
And Josh makes a good spaghetti bolognese, and we'll get a glass of wine, while we're making the dinner. But outside of that and like hanging out with friends, I don't really drink much when we're not filming these episodes.
Yeah. Okay. Hanging out with friends. You're going out with friends.
Maybe
we're going out downtown Nashville.
We haven't gone out in so long.
What are you drinking though? If you go out to
Broadway,
a honky tonk.
Like
let's say people are in town. We never go to Broadway. If you're familiar at all with Nashville / Nash Vegas / New Nashville, then Broadway is like the strip in Vegas.
Where all the honky tonks are. Yeah.
Right. So you're going out to Broadway. You're going to be getting something to drink. What are you getting to drink?
Usually I'll probably ask for like a rye. So Bullet is my standby.
Which we just so happen to have handy.
Which we have because, it's my standby. But I'd probably ask for like a Bullet on the rocks. I like to drink things on the rocks when I go out because that makes it last longer.
Yeah.
And A, I save money, and B, I don't have to, I'm not drinking as much.
Right.
So
you can just sip slowly over time.
Or I'll ask for an old fashioned too sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends on where we're going. If we're going to a restaurant, I'll ask for an old fashioned. If we're going to honky tonk / bar, I'll usually get like a rye on the rocks.
For sure.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, I typically drink whiskey. And I'm going to set this aside.
Okay.
And I drink whiskey because I don't like to drink a lot of volume. I did get into the craft beer thing back in like the late aughts to early teens. Yeah. And I never was big on the IPA train. Nowadays, if I'm drinking beer, I'm probably just going to get like some pretty boring lager.
Or we
that's
like
really
sours.
Easy. I absolutely love sours. I didn't bring any up from downstairs from the beer fridge, but Dr. Robot, Monday Night Brewing, I absolutely love their blackberry lemon sour.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love sours.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one, but there's a lot of good sours out there. And that might be something that I get if we go out downtown and they have that on draft, especially.
And they have that at a few of the places in downtown Nashville.
Right. And so I might get something like that if we go out. Typically, if we go out, I'm probably going to order a beer because whiskey is usually marked up pretty high.
Yeah.
I've probably got better whiskey here than, and that's not a flex or anything, but like I've got stuff I want to drink here more in the whiskey front. Then if we go out, I'm typically going to get a beer or I'm going to get a cocktail. And if I get a cocktail, I'm probably...
Wait, let me guess. You're going to say Negroni.
I probably get a Negroni,
I was right.
which is equal parts gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth.
Yeah.
Which I really like, or a Boulevardier, which is the exact same thing with the Campari and the vermouth, but it's got bourbon instead of gin. So I really like both of those drinks a lot. They're kind of bitter, and I kind of like that in my old age.
Which is interesting to me because you love sweet bourbon.
Right.
But you like bitter cocktails.
I will say I really like Bourbon Mules, too.
Okay.
I really like Bourbon Mules. But if we're at home, typically I'm trying a different bourbon or I'm sipping through things like that. I like to try new things when we're at home. However, with that said, this is going to come out. This episode is being filmed in August. It's going to come out sometime probably in September, late September. So we're at the tail end of summer. But I got to say, right here in this glass is Jack Daniel's single barrel proof.
Okay.
And this is something I'm getting into. So this summer, the heat has necessitated chilled drinks.
Yeah.
And I am not one to drink my bourbon on ice ever. Because when I try it with lower proof bourbons or even moderately proof bourbons, like around the 100 proof point, it just gets watered down. It tastes weak. You lose all the experience of it. But when it comes to these higher proof bourbons, the uncut, unfiltered bourbons that have non-chill filtering, they have extra fatty acids in there. When you get those and you get them with some ice in there, it unlocks flavor compounds, allegedly. But to be honest, like this bottle, this is a store pick or a group pick from Nashville Bourbon Social Club. It's called the MBSC Country. You can see the Donkey Kong sticker there. This thing is a banana bomb. Neat. But you put it on ice and you taste it.
May I taste it?
The banana takes a back seat to tons of maple syrup sweetness. It totally changes the flavor profile.
Well, they say that ice does that with a lot of things.
It does. And typically with lower proof stuff, I find that it changes it for the worse. At the tail end of summer here, what I have found myself gravitating towards is high proof stuff on the rocks. Now, if it's the end of the day and we're sitting down with a pour, there's a few things I grabbed here. And I'm going to work my way up. I think I could probably be happy with these 4 products. So
you drink whiskey when we're not filming whiskey drinking videos.
Yeah. And you do too by proxy because I'm always
I was like, here, Erin, try this. And I'm like, okay.
And you always give me your opinion on it, which is cool. But if I want something that's low proof, Evan Williams Single Barrel. I don't bother with Buffalo Trace. I don't bother with Eagle Rare. If I'm reaching for something while we're not filming and I don't want a lot of proof, but I still want classic bourbon flavors, Evan Williams Single Barrel. $30. I can always get another one. It's readily available. Absolutely adore this product.
Yeah,
I was going to say I loved it, but I don't just love it. I adore it.
Ooh.
Evan Williams Single Barrel. Let's say I want to step up in proof a little bit.
Is this like a 5 whiskeys
4 Roses Single Barrel. Kinda, yeah. 4 Roses Single Barrel.
I'm sipping my
Are
wine.
you seeing a theme here?
Yeah.
Single barrel, single barrel, single barrel. I like single barrels because you get the variants in there, and we call it single barrel roulette, but it is a lot of fun to see the variants. And typically when I'm getting kind of low, like down to here in a bottle, I'll buy another one, and then I'll compare the single barrels next to each other to see how they differ. So this bottle of 4 Roses, in comparison to the last bottle of 4 Roses single barrel that we had, they were both 100 proof.
Okay.
This one is way more spicy and oaky, which I like. The other one was more fruity.
Yeah.
This Evan Williams single barrel, compared to the Evan Williams single barrel that we had before, the other one was just really classic bourbon flavors. This one leans a little bit more oaky. I like them both. They're just different.
Yeah.
So I really like the single barrel expressions if I'm going to grab something. And I'm not just trying it for the channel and anything like that. The gap here, we've got 100 proof, we've got 130 proof. You know what the gap is. You know. You already know. It's rare breed.
Yeah, it is.
If I'm just going to grab something that I want to enjoy around here, and honestly, if you're going to grab something that you want to enjoy around here and it's a whiskey, we're probably grabbing rare breed.
Yeah, if it's a bourbon. Like if it's not a rye, then it's going to be rare breed. Or I have a new favorite as well that's equal to rare breed. But
controversial.
My heart grew in love. It's just because I like something else now doesn't mean I don't love this as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have found that New Riff single barrel proof. Some of the store picks, some of the group picks can be absolutely outstanding.
Yeah. And granted, we've only tried one, so we're going to try to find more.
I've tried more than one.
Oh.
I've tried some from local stores and they're really good.
I've only tried one.
Yeah. But I could honestly, if we weren't filming, I could have these 4 and not need anything else.
Yeah.
maybe throw a rye in there. Probably throw, for me personally, I'd throw an Elijah Craig rye or a Rittenhouse rye in there as a low proof option.
Yeah.
And I'd throw a Pikesville as a high proof option.
Pikesville is good.
Add those two in here. I got everything I need.
You have a capsule whiskey collection.
Yeah. I like to have more. I like exploring the hobby, but when it comes to American whiskey, which is what we primarily drink, I primarily drink, take these 4 right here, add in Rittenhouse and Pikesville. I'm done. I'm set. I don't need anything else. Everything else is just a bonus. It's icing on the cake.
Yep.
And the channel gives us a good excuse to continue to buy more whiskey.
Excuse?
Don't tell her that. Don't tell her that that's my plan.
Oh, I know.
Not to mention hanging out with her is pretty fun.
I mean, you're all right.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we have for other stuff today?
So for other stuff this week, we just talked about what we drink when we're not filming, and I mentioned Boulevard AAs. If you're someone who really enjoys whiskey, I urge you to go out to some local establishment, try to find somewhere don't go too bougie, but get somewhere that's kind of nice, and order yourself a Boulevard AA or a Moscow Mule.
You can make them at home though too.
You can make them at home as well, but if you don't want to go buy the ingredients, it's going to cost you less money to just go get it from a place that knows how to make it.
That's true.
Go try it. Expand your horizons a little bit. Try a sour beer.
Yeah.
Try something different.
Yeah.
This is all about having fun, taking the journey. That's what we're all about here on this channel. So if you like that, if you like the journey that we're on, you want to join in, you can be a part of that by just going out to your local establishment, ordering something that you've never ordered before, and then tip your bartender well. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by the Patreon link below. We've got all kinds of stuff there. We do quick sip reviews several times a week.
Some behind the scenes
photographs
and stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So it's also our community element.
Yep.
We're not on social media really. I'm on Facebook for a local bourbon social club group.
Well, we do have a Stuff and Whiskey Instagram account.
We do.
That you run.
Which we post what's coming up, but don't try to get us there.
Yeah.
If you need to get in touch with us, it's really through Patreon, or you can just email us. That's in the description below as well. That's it for this week, guys. Erin, take us out of here.
Well, if you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up. You can't give it 2 thumbs up. That's okay. Just 1 is good. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, you should do that.
You should.
I think that's a good idea. Because then you can know when we post videos, and you'll be updated if you hit that bell notification. You don't have to,
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
but you can.
Yeah.
And if you haven't noticed, we're a channel about conversation and community, somewhat disguised as a whiskey channel. And this video is just the beginning of the conversation. So if you'd like to begin the conversation or continue it, you can leave a comment below as well.
Comment below on what you drink when you're not filming.
Yeah, when you're not filming, whatever you film.
That's it for this week, guys. Until next week, cheers.